Hey Daniel, so I believe you had a question about 13 under chapter 5.3 or worksheet 5b with regards to, I think this was common factoring if I'm not mistaken. So let me just, okay. So write an expression in fully factored form for each of the shaded regions. So for the shaded region, I know that this is going to be 4x times 8x, right? Because length times width. So if I want the shaded area, I obviously want the area of the whole thing minus the area of the middle. So the area of the whole thing would be 4x times 8x. So 8x length times width minus the area in here, which would be 2y times 4y. Okay. Now, from here, do we know what x is relative to y, or do we know what y is relative to x? We do not. Okay, we do not know. So, what we're going to do is just expand what we have here. 8 times 4 is 32. 32x squared. So 8 times 8 is 32. X times x is x squared. Minus 2 times 4 is 8. Y times y is y squared. Okay? Now, the trick here is we realize that this is a difference, right? And let me just double check. 5.3. Have we talked about... sorry, let me just go back in my notes quick. I just want to see if we talked about difference of squares up to this point for 5b. Otherwise, it would just sound like I'm talking gibberish. So 5b. 5b, common factoring, chapter 5.3. Question 13. This is question 13. Okay, no, we do not talk about difference of squares. Okay, so up to this point, since we're talking about common factoring, well, all I can do to common factor this is factor out an 8. Okay, because 8 is common in both, right? So if I take out an 8, I get 4x squared minus 8 divided by 8 is 1 minus y squared. Okay, now later on, so as of right now, technically this is not fully done because we want it in fully factored form. Excuse me. But up to chapter 4.3, all we know how to do is common factor, right? So if we just left it at that, it's fine because there's nothing more that I can do. So length times width minus length times width, you get this expression, common factor on 8, and that's all I can do. There's 2 x's there, but there's no x's here, so I can't do anything beyond that. Okay. Now for b, same idea. If I want the area, I'm looking at the area of the whole circle, which would be pi r, capital R squared. Capital R because the area of the whole circle, this is the radius, minus the area of the little circle with the small radius, so that means that would be pi r little radius squared. Okay. Now this is tricky in the sense that you'd be tempted to factor out an r. But are these radiuses the same? Is the radius of the small circle and the radius of the big circle the same? No, they're not. So in other words, they're not the same number. I'm sorry, my dishwasher just came on, but I'm almost done. Now looking at these two terms, what's common? It's just a pi. Okay, so if I take pi out of both of them, I'll get r squared minus r squared. And I'm done. Okay? Oh, wait, actually, we did talk about difference of squares up to this point, didn't we? Let me just check. The special products. Yeah, we did. Okay. So, we didn't necessarily know how to factor yet, but we do know that if I were to expand this out, okay, and I know we talked about this in 5a, if I were to factor this out, this will give me x squared minus 9, right? Now, how can I go backwards? Well, square root, square root. And this actually I dive more into this in the next lesson, okay? So for this particular question, if you left it at that, it's fine. But you could technically go a step further, knowing that, let me just use blue in this case, knowing that 4x squared minus y squared, I can rewrite that as, let me just write it over here, 8 equals, so it's going to be 1 plus 1 minus, and the square root of 4 is 2, so I'll have 2x over here, and then square root of y squared is just y, so 2y plus y, 2x plus y, 2x minus y. If you didn't understand this extra step, that's okay. That's what next lesson's about. But if you left it here, because technically we've only known how to common factor up to here, we can leave it as that, and that'll be okay. This question, same thing. If you left it at that, that's okay. But if you catch that this is indeed a difference of squares, okay, you would know that I'm going to have two brackets. One's going to be a plus, one's going to be a minus. Square root of r, capital R is just r, capital square root of r squared is just r, r plus r, r minus r. Okay. Any other questions? Please just post and I will answer with another video. Okay. Thanks. Bye.